plant medicine path, and today, really good friend and known her for a long time, Shiri from Soul Quest, and she also owns Sacred Flows. She's the owner of Sacred Flows ceremonial. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Shiri, and then we'll get into the conversation.
Okay, cool. So about myself, I mean, there's so many facets. I think we're complex human beings, but for this talk and the talk about rape, um, I've known you, Mark, for a few years because of Soul Quest, and I work as a facilitator with ayahuasca, and I also work with another beautiful plant medicine, Hape.
Mhm.
And I've been working with medicine for a few years and built a beautiful relationship with it. And, it has helped me, we're speaking about integration
Yep.
of plant ceremonies and plant medicine. And, I often tell people, Rape, it's an integration tool. This is a tool that has helped me integrate my experiences of plant medicines, helps me integrate my experiences as a spiritual being. And so my passion is with Sacred Flows is to provide this medicine to people in the Western world. These medicines come from the Amazon, they come from Central and South America. And so I work with a lot of tribes down there, a lot of people who ship this beautiful medicine here to share it with us so that we can also have these beautiful experiences. I also hold rape, cacao, and sound journeys, ceremonies and workshops. All the medicines and I guess the modalities that I use are all really about opening your heart, having your heart open, getting out of your head and back into your heart space, because in our heart, it's where our answers are. It's where
Yeah.
the true self is. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me and in that aspect of things.
Yeah. So I met you that very first time was at Soul Quest, and
Yeah.
I was introduced to Hape by you, and what an experience that was. And now I'm a true believer in Hape. I truly love my Hape, sometimes a little too much. And, that's something we all get used to. But, let
Yeah.
me ask you a question there. How do you go? What's the difference between Hape in a ceremony and Hape outside of a ceremony when you're using it?
And when you refer to ceremony, you're talking about other plant medicines like ayahuasca, right?
Correct,
Okay.
definitely. Hmm.
So they are powerful in both, but they're very different. So when we are sitting with a plant medicine like ayahuasca, rape is a very powerful tool that can help with a few things. It helps a lot with facilitating a purge. So sometimes people are struggling to release a purge, and it can be physical, energetic, emotional. There may be a blockage, and rape helps open this blockage. It helps release so that we can physically purge, so we can release whatever we're holding on to that no longer serves us. Rape can also help ground us during an ayahuasca ceremony when we feel like we have no strings attached or no tethers to the earth, to this physical plane. Rape can help with that, but there are also rapes that can help increase the medicine itself. But mainly I see this opening of self, when we're sitting with ayahuasca, and there's fear or there's this need to control or we're struggling to let go and surrender, then rape allows us to do that. Now, outside of ayahuasca, outside of other plant medicines, sitting with rape in its own ceremony, which is what I teach, is an experience of, I guess, connecting with self. All right, this is your connection with self, with source, with spirit, with your higher self, whatever name you want to give it. It is a moment for us to get out of our heads, get out of our analytics, our justifications, our ruminating in our heads, and it puts us into our heart space. It allows the walls that we built around to protect us, the ego, for that wall to fall down so we can access vulnerability, so we can access our emotions. I always say to people that, sitting with rape at home ceremonially or ceremoniously, sacredly, is a moment for us to just be, all right,
Hmm.
for us to just feel. There are very few moments for a lot of us in a typical day where we allow ourselves to feel our emotions, where we allow ourselves to just be. We're
Right.
very good at playing the part of human doing. We're really good at ticking the check boxes and just go, go, go and getting things done and being productive. but we don't often give ourselves the space to just sit, because when we're sitting, we're scrolling. We're always doing something, and we're distracting ourselves from our emotions. And so Hape brings you back to self, and brings you back to your emotions. Now, there are emotions that we suppress. We cannot release emotions that we're suppressing if we cannot even acknowledge that they exist. And so what Hape does is it allows you to see what you're pushing down. It allows you to experience what you're pushing down so you can release it. So you can experience it and then let go of it if you choose to. So it's a moment of connecting with yourself. And it's a moment of connecting with whatever is outside of you or beyond you that you relate to, whether you refer to it as Pachamama or spirit or source. And so it's that moment of connection, but also that moment of, like I said, integration. So if you're integrating any other plant experience that you've had, any other plant medicine experience, Hape can bring you guidance, and it can bring you clarity. It can bring you insight on things that you haven't managed to figure out yet. And it will bring you back to those moments and bring a bigger understanding of those moments that you may not understand at the time. Mm-hmm. So it has many angles in which it works, and it allows you just to stay on your path, and your spiritual path. It allows you to sit with it in the morning and really invite what it is or who it is you want to be, how you want to walk today, how you want to show up for yourself, for others today. It brings you back to your truth at the end of the day.
You explained that so well. And there's also to get different energies out. And I know there's a different products in different Hapes. So can we explain the different Hapes and how they work with the different energies? There's grounding, there's hearts, there's roots. So can we get into that just a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So there are a variety of Hapes. There's a large variety of Hapes. So Hape is typically made from mapacho, Nicotina rustica. And then the indigenous tribes, depending on where they're at, will mix that with other plant medicines, with other, pulverized plant matter. And this kind of gives Hape different nuances, different characteristics. So this takes time, this building a relationship with Hape. At first, Hape kind of feels the same. And then once you start building that sensitivity, you understand its different nuances, different aspects. So there are Hapes that we refer to as heart openers, Hapes that we refer to as third eye openers, some that connect you with ancestral energy, some that will allow you to see the divinity of yourself and step into that. Maybe there are Hapes that allow you to see your shadow aspect. So the self that we push down, that we deem not good, not worthy, not, that we shouldn't have. There are Hapes that are, like you said, very grounding. I see all Hapes as grounding. They will always bring you down and center you. And then there are Hapes that work in different parts of our physiological body. Some are really focused on digestive tract, some on the heart space. And again, it depends on the plant medicines that are mixed in with the mapacho. But all Hape, like you said, it helps release any energies that may have latched onto us, or any energies that we may have invited in unknowingly. And this is called panema, so it's the dark energy, the negative. It helps release that. But all Hapes, they release anxiety, and they will help ground. And so over time, you build this relationship with Hape, and you start to notice, hey, when I have anxiety, like this one is the best one for me. When I'm feeling feelings of sadness, of guilt, of shame, that one's always the one that allows me to release. At night, when I want to just relax and be in a very, calming, meditative mood, like this is the one that helps me go into that meditative space. And so this is called the building of the relationship with Hape. This is when we start noticing the different nuances. Also, there are Hapes that hold very feminine energy and very masculine energy. And, it's not to say that one is stronger than the other, but it's the energetic vibrancy of each. So I remember having described the feminine as like a very nurturing energy. The feminine energy is, she kind of holds you in her arms, and she's like, you let it out, feel your feelings, it's okay. And then the masculine energy is more of this action-orientated, stern father, and he's like, all right, enough now. Like, let's get up. Let's figure out a solution. Let's keep going. So they hold different energies, and depending what we need at any given moment, we might be drawn to needing more of a nurturing energy at that point. If we've been wallowing and in our self-pity, or the woe is me sort of a scenario, then maybe a masculine would be good to really knock us out of that. So they all carry very, very different energies, very different areas of where they target like healing.
Great explanation. So just starting off on this Hape journey,
Yeah.
what would you recommend to somebody? What Hape would you recommend to start off with? Just name it.
So it's a really good question. I have a few blends that are really good to start off with. I would say starting off with a light to medium strength. So there are a few that I sell, and there are a few that other places sell that I could recommend as well. So here's the thing. This is always like the tricky part. I always say, hey, like this, like Bliss, Nukini Bliss is a really good starting one. Yawanawa Rose is a really good starting one because it's very feminine, very light, and very gentle. But I hold these workshops and these ceremonies at SoulQuest every weekend. So I hold them in person. And I actually introduce a variety of rapes that people get to choose. And some of the varieties are strong. They're really strong. And I've had trepidation about sharing them with newbies, but it's always worked out, and it's really beautiful. And so while there might be lighter ones that are maybe a bit wiser to start with, I feel like whatever you're drawn to, whatever feels right in here, whatever you're going through at this given moment, that is the right one to start with. So if you feel like you're working on your heart space these days, you're working on self-love, then Nukini Bliss, go for it. This is your heart opener. This is what brings in self-love. If you find that you're stuck in your head and you have the same patterns of thinking that are not serving you, maybe Alegria da Floresta is the one to go. But it's a very strong one. But I've seen new people use it and be totally okay with it. So it's changed over time how I've recommended things. I always say, go in here. Whatever feels right, whatever reads and resonates with what you're going through, that one is the right one.
Well, great. You explained that again. Great. So let's talk about your workshops. You're going to be having an upcoming workshop here Tuesday, I think, at the 30th at 7. Is that it? Let's talk a little bit about how they work, and then because I don't want to spoil too much because I want people to go to your workshop. So
yeah. So the virtual workshop and ceremony is a beautiful chance to learn about this medicine of Hape. It's a beautiful experience to bring in this medicine into your life. If you're looking for something to keep you on your spiritual path, to help you keep connected or build a connection with self and with spirit, to have a ceremony at home, to bring in ceremony into your personal space, this is what I teach. All right, so I teach about the plant medicine, how it's made, these different aspects of it. And then I teach people how to sit with it ceremoniously, how to sit with it with reverence, with sacredness. Because every time we sit with these medicines, we have to give them time. We have to give them the space, the time, the right set and setting. So we talk about set and setting. I teach how to self-administer, right? This is how to give yourself rapé. Now, the beauty of this is that you get to take your power back. We go to, ceremonies and people facilitate ceremonies with different plant medicines, and it's beautiful. What I love about rapé is that you can take it home with you. This is something that you can hold for yourself. Right. And so I'm sure, like you've seen as well in this movement, Mark, is that it's very prevalent that we put people up on pedestals. The gurus, the shamans, the light workers, the Reiki masters, whatever other title we wish to give someone who's up there while we're down here. They're going to heal us. They're going to facilitate this journey. They're going to remove these negative energies. So what I do is I teach you how to take your power back, because really you are going to heal yourself. No one outside of you can do that. And so you have everything within yourself to do this. So I teach you how to sit with it sacredly, how to sit with the blessings with intention, so that every time you sit with this medicine, you are sitting in ceremony. So we do a workshop part on the call, and then we get to the ceremony part. So we will sit as a collective in ceremony together on the virtual call. After I've taught you how to do the blessings, the intentions, we will actually do it together. I play music. We self-administer together, and we will sit in ceremony while I guide everyone through and make sure everyone is okay and everyone's having a good experience so that they're comfortable, so that they learn how to sit with this medicine and build a comfort and a trust for this medicine and for themselves. So there's the workshop part and then the ceremony part. And then from here on, once I teach you, now you have the skills, now you have the know-how, how to continue this. Now every day you can bring ceremony into your space, into your home. You've learned how to do this. You have a bit more comfort and more trust in letting go and understanding how to utilize this medicine better.
And you do it so well. You know, I've held space with you. I've been in ceremony with you. You're just a beautiful person. I respect you so much. And, you know, we will continue this. We'll continue our friendship. And, you know, everybody, great woman here. And join her workshop on Tuesday. She will definitely hold some very beautiful space, very ethical soul. And, you know, I love you very much. And very glad for you to be on today. Very glad. Very appreciate you very much.
I appreciate you as well, for sure. Thank you. I am glad, and I have deep, deep gratitude and honor for our friendship and for the work that you guys are doing in this space as well, to bring in community and support. We need it.
Yeah, we do. I told you this a few years ago. We need it, and we've created it, and it's happening.
Sure
You know?
is.
Yeah. Love you, my friend.
I love you too, Mark.
Join her Tuesday. Shiri's an awesome person, holds space really well. She knows the Hape. She knows all the ceremony spaces. She's space beautiful. I love you, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. I love you too, Mark.